y con el profesor Torregazo. La presentación será
Vamos a ver lo que ha hecho Germán. Nada, colorico.
Hello, we are the class of 4th of ESO in the Colegio Internacional de Granada, and we are going to explain you the project of Energy Compo in collaboration with Germán Tortosa.
Okay, so basically humans have searched for new forms of energy throughout our history. In the first industrial revolution, we used steam to power our machinery. In the second one, we used electricity. We have only found new ways to find energy and to power our sources, and they are all unsustainable and artificial when having right in front of us ways which are very sustainable and can be used. An example of this is plants. Biological activity, hides richness in terms of obtaining energy, so why not investigating it for a future? We could use this in a further future to power houses or streets. When a plant photosynthesizes, they generate a degradation which creates a flow of electrons, creating a natural battery. This could be used to obtain energy, and as said before, it could be used in a further future, perhaps, to power a city or even this room. So we made an experiment, and we used the same plants, they were on the same pot, and the only differences they had was that they had different soil treatments. One had soil and others had compost, and we also put on them different electrodes to see how it changed in the growth and the electricity they generated. We also wanted to demonstrate Ohm's law, because as you know, Ohm's law is this triangle over here. Maybe you learned it with the trick of Viva la Reina Isabel. It was basically that triangle over there, so we wanted to prove it by putting on higher electrodes, bigger electrodes, and having a bigger surface, they had a smaller resistance, thus having a higher intensity.
So now I'm gonna talk about the previous studies. So last year in 2022, the project CAOS2 did a project that carried out a research in which a technological system was created to use the growth of biological plants for obtaining electrical energy. When they ended the project, they got into the conclusion that many things of the experiment could be improved. So they proposed some changes, among which stand out to use larger pots, to use flat electrodes instead of tubes, and to try other plants. So this year we have taken into account all these points to improve our results. We use pots of 200 centimeters more. We replaced the cylinders and screws with iron mesh and copper foil, which proved to be much more effective, and we use pepper plants instead of onions. Now I'm going to talk about the objectives and hypotheses that we came up at the beginning of the project. The hypotheses we have are that you can increase the biological activity of the soil by adding compost and a plant and obtain a higher current intensity, and that by using electrodes with a larger surface area, we will obtain a greater flow of electrons. And the objectives we had were to improve previous experimental methods, to further investigate how we can harness electricity in the process of plant cultivation, to check how the growth of bell pepper plants and the biological activity of the soil are positively affected by compost, and to test whether the compost increases photovoltaic energy production or not.
Now I'm going to talk about the materials and methods. So for making this project possible, we have used the following material, which consists on pepper plants, in soil compost, a multimeter, and in electrodes we use the metal mesh, the galvanized screw, copper foil, and a copper pipe. So we named all the pots by dividing them into 4 different groups, and in each group there is 4 pots, and the groups depend on the type of soil treatment that the electrons have.
Now I'm gonna talk about the treatments. The first one had soil, a galvanized screw, and a copper pipe. On the second one, we added compost to the soil, and we have the same electrodes. On the third one, we have soil, a galvanized metal mesh, copper foil, and on the fourth one, we added compost as well, and we had the same electrodes than the third one. We did it this way to analyze the data individually and have more precise conclusions about how plants obtain more energy. We did measurements on different parameters such as current, intensity, potential, number of leaves, fruits, and flowers. And now I'm going to explain the methods. For the electrical measurements, we connected the plants in series, connecting them to an electrical measuring machine. And we note the voltage and the amperage, differentiating between the types of substrate and electrodes. To measure the height, we used a meter, and to count the fruits, leaves, and flowers, we did it manually. The last thing we do was to cut the plants and then weigh them.
So, doing a week of research, we end up having a lot of results from the pH of the soil and the compost to finally the intensity, voltage, and the other measurements that we were trying to do. First of all, we measured the pH to see if the plants would grow correctly in the ground and how we can achieve a better growth of said plants. In almost all of them, they have a very similar pH. They have a normal pH for a bell pepper. Usually, the ideal pH will be between 5.5 and 6.8, but the plants eventually grow perfectly fine, so we end up having a good result. Also, we can see that the compost acidifies a little bit the soil, but not all. Then we measure the voltage, and as we can see, there's not a lot of difference. We measure the voltage in 3 different sets. First, the first day with the plants in their early stages, and finally the last day with the plants all grown up with fruits, flowers, and leaves. Finally, the main point of our research was to investigate the intensity of the plants and to see if compost will increase their biological activity. And as we can see in the plants that use compost, and especially in the ones that we use different electrodes, as we change electrodes in the middle of the process to galvanized screws and other types of electrodes to a large structure, we can see that they measure better the intensity and they have better results. In the number of leaves, well, obviously the ones that had soil and compost were the ones that grew more, but as is expected, they grew up perfectly fine. Also, the fresh weight, when we cut them up, the measurements indicated that the soil and compost also made the plant weigh more, but it was also an expected result. And in the height, it grew perfectly fine from the first day to the last day, and we can conclude that there was also an expected result. Finally, in the flowers and fruits, the second and fourth row are the ones that have soil and compost, and they also grew very well, with like an average number of flowers and fruits. And as all the other results, they were as expected, and they end up fine.
At the conclusion of the project, we have observed that our hypothesis on how the use of compost in the plant affects its growth, voltage and current intensity were correct, since the group of plant 2 and 4, which had this, show an improvement in their growth, the number of flowers and fruits. Also, an increase in the intensity of current and voltage is observed, which is very positive for our project, since with the increase of this, we get a higher yield in our natural battery.
So for future experiments, we would like to try some new things. The first one would be to put different plants, like different types of plants, to see which type of plant generates more electricity instead of only putting pepper plants. We would also like to see the difference between a natural fertilizer, like compost, and an artificial one, a chemical one. We would also like to try plants with a bigger surface, just to prove again Ohm's law, or to see if they have a lower resistance and a greater intensity. We would also like to try 2 pots in a pot, because maybe it could work out. And we would also like to try to put some worms inside of it to see if the plant generates more electricity. So thank you very much for your attention, and if you've got any questions, we're here for answering them.
Bueno, ha sido una exposición estupenda, de verdad que os felicito, porque como decía antes el compañero, de que realmente el hablar en inglés y dar una presentación en inglés, que viene de la ciencia, es complicado, y lo habéis hecho muy bien. A mí me ha gustado mucho esta presentación. Tengo un comentario solamente, ¿no?, para esos futuros proyectos y también para que me digáis qué pensáis. Toda la tarde estamos oyéndonos a través de vuestros compañeros el problema que hay con la sal y con la deficiencia de agua dulce que tenemos. ¿Pensáis que podéis introducir también dentro de vuestro estudio cambios en el compost, etcétera, junto con cambios en la salinidad del agua, para poder estudiar también cómo pueda ser ese cambio que tenéis en la intensidad, en el crecimiento y en la transmisión de corriente?
Sí, bueno, yo creo que cualquier cambio, cualquier nuevo tipo de experimento está siempre bienvenido para aprender nuevas cosas. Yo creo que sí se notará un cambio bastante, al igual que nuestros compañeros, sus experimentos todos han salido distintos según la sal que ponían y bueno, todos los cambios que estaban haciendo, y seguramente saldrá algo similar, algo que concuerde con los experimentos, y yo creo que sí que es una muy buena recomendación, porque cualquier nuevo elemento siempre está bienvenido. Muchas gracias. ¿Una pregunta?
Es una pregunta técnica en relación a lo que habéis presentado y simplemente decirme sí o no, y entonces me callo porque no lo he entendido, ¿vale? ¿Habéis puesto un control sin planta?
Sí.
Me parece que entonces entiendo que si no ponéis la planta hay muchísimo menos electricidad. Eso parece mágico, ¿eh? Eso realmente parece mágico. ¿Estás seguro que no está haciendo otra parte, Germán? No, me parece muy bien.
Que además de las 4 plantas que pusimos, pues pusimos un pequeño control fuera también, como un set de 4 plantas, y también fuimos controlando el voltaje, aunque algunas veces hubo algunos problemillas, pero sí controlamos al final que en las macetas que no había plantas, el voltaje, la intensidad, todo eso era muchísimo menor, y cuanto más crecían las plantas, más hojas tenían y más flores tenían, además de las que tenían compost, que de todo eso va nuestra investigación, pues fueron las que más resultados, por así decirlo, dieron. Gracias.
Yo me lo felicito por la buena charla que habéis dado. Creo que sabéis que se ha comentado de que todo esto que está pasando aquí va a acabar en posible artículo, ¿no? Y no sé si Germán lo habrá dicho, que dentro de ese artículo, en la parte final, hay un capítulo que tenemos a gala de que aparezca siempre, que se llama My Own Ideas. No sé si lo ha dicho o no, donde tenéis que manifestar, bueno, qué ha supuesto para vosotros participar en este proyecto, cómo lo habéis visto, vuestro comentario, digamos, al respecto. No sé si lo ha dicho dicho algo Germán, si no, lo estoy diciendo ya para ir pensando que no te vaya a escribir. Pero dentro de ese marco que yo estoy hablando, quiero saber lo que vosotros habéis pensado desde que empezasteis con este proyecto. Cuando oísteis la primera vez a Germán diciendo, venga, acabamos de irle el voltaje, a ver si las plantas esto, ¿se os puso la cara de póker o no sé, ¿podéis comentar algo al respecto? A mí me dicen eso y digo, no me entiendo, ¿no? No sé qué.
Bueno, cabe mencionar que el proyecto al principio nos vino un poco inesperado. O sea, no fue un proyecto que elegimos, pues sí lo elegimos, pero fue algo un poco inesperado. Y tampoco puedo hablar por todos mis compañeros, pero al principio fue un proceso extraño, porque teníamos que trasladarnos del colegio hasta el centro de investigación, no sabíamos si íbamos a poder controlar cómo iban a crecer las plantas o si íbamos a poder medir regularmente la electricidad, la intensidad y el voltaje de estas, y si íbamos también a poder monitorizar el proceso que estaban experimentando nuestras plantas. Y además de que hubo un par de complicaciones y no sabíamos si al final el proyecto iba a resultar satisfactorio, si iba a cumplir con nuestra hipótesis o si simplemente iba a fallar y no íbamos a tener ningún resultado. Y en algunos casos, porque algunas medidas fallaron, pues sí tuvimos esa impresión, porque algunos resultados nos daban muy bajos, nos daban muy altos o no nos cuadraban con lo que estábamos investigando. Pero al final del día creo que ha sido un proyecto muy educativo, hablando por parte de todos, y que nos ha ayudado mucho en el sentido de ir investigando y ir teniendo una constancia a la hora de medir la intensidad, a la hora de saber cómo iba creciendo y de llevar como un récord de lo que estaba pasando, y también como una especie de simulación de esta especie de experiencia científica, por así decirlo. Y sí que creo que en general ha sido una experiencia inesperada, pero muy satisfactoria.